Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk after the night of witnessing Sarah's distorted face appearing in the mirror in the library, the three children could no longer be at peace. The next day at school, all three were silent, their eyes vacant. It seemed that everyone around them also felt the unusual change. No one dared to mention Sarah's disappearance anymore, but the tense atmosphere that covered the whole school made the whole school sink into invisible fear. Michael hid the old notebook in his backpack. Every night he flipped through it and read more. The lines were blurry, as if written in a hurry. Many passages were difficult to understand. He realized that the notebook not only recorded the ritual, but also contained vague warnings. There was a passage that said the soul trapped in the mirror would gradually merge with the summoned entity. When that happened, the imprisoned person would never return. Reading this, Michael broke out in a cold sweat. Meanwhile, Kevin became more and more distant. He often disappeared after school, and whenever Lisa or Michael found him, Kevin would stand near the mirrors that were hung all over the school. One time, Lisa passed by the lab and saw Kevin with his hand on the mirror, his lips moving as if he was talking to someone. When Lisa called out to him, Kevin just smiled faintly, his eyes sparkling with an unusual light. Lisa panicked and told Michael. They both began to believe that Kevin was being manipulated by the reflection in the mirror. Sarah might still be there, but perhaps the presence was no longer her that night. Michael decided to return to the library to investigate further. Lisa reluctantly followed, afraid that he would drag the group into trouble again. The library at night was cold and suffocatingly silent. The ceiling lights flickered, and every time the wind blew through the glass doors, there was a soft whistling sound. Michael opened the notebook in the middle of the wooden table, the flashlight from his phone illuminating the scribbled lines. A new note that he had never seen before appeared clearly. When one of the four disappears, the remaining ones will be bound forever. The shadow in the mirror will find the weakest one to replace the missing position. Michael's heart pounded, and he immediately thought of Kevin. Suddenly, a noise rang out from the end of the room. Both of them startled and looked back. The mirror hanging next to the bookshelf shook, cracks spreading. In the dim light, a face appeared. It was Sarah, but her face was pale, her eyes as black as a deep pit. She moved her lips, making a choking sound. Lisa was afraid and grabbed Michael's hand, but Michael squinted, trying to listen. Sarah's voice was faint but clear, calling Kevin's name, then whispered, "Bring him here." Both of them were stunned, understanding that the thing in the mirror was trying to lure Kevin into participating in the ritual again. When the mirror suddenly made a loud cracking sound, Lisa screamed. Sarah's image in the mirror twisted, her face changing constantly, sometimes smiling, sometimes screaming. The flashlight suddenly flickered and then went out. The whole room was plunged into darkness. At that moment, Michael felt a cold hand touch his shoulder. He turned around, but behind him was only empty space. Lisa was trembling, pointing at the mirror from inside. A bony arm was slowly reaching out, scratching the wooden floor, creating a terrifying sound. Michael panicked and pulled Lisa away from the library. But in the last moment of looking back, he clearly saw Kevin's shadow, reflected in the mirror, even though Kevin was not there. Fear surged, making Michael certain that Kevin was gradually belonging to the other world. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. The image of Sarah's pale arm and distorted face kept appearing in his mind. In his heart, he feared that if they didn't take action, Kevin would disappear like Sarah. But is there any way to stop the ritual when it has been broken? The next day, Kevin came to class looking haggard. He told Michael and Lisa that Sarah was waiting in the mirror, calling for help. Kevin insisted that he had to do the ritual again. His eyes were burning with fanaticism, making Michael shiver. He knew that if Kevin continued, there would be no turning back. Michael and Lisa discussed how to stop him, but while they were arguing, Kevin suddenly left. He headed straight for the bathroom where it all started. Michael and Lisa chased after him, their hearts pounding. They clearly felt that if Kevin repeated the ritual, all three of them would fall into an abyss with no way out. When they arrived, the bathroom door was ajar. From inside came a steady whisper. Kevin was calling Sarah's name in front of the mirror. The candlelight flickered through the crack in the door, Kevin's figure swaying with each call. Michael tried to rush in, but Lisa held him back. She whispered, in panic, that if they did, they would both be sucked into the ritual. Michael stood there, frozen, hearing the clicking of the mirror and the soft laughter coming from it. The story is not over yet. Stay tuned for the next episode to see what happens when Kevin makes his final call to the mirror of fate.